Hello, good morning. Um, I did all my jobs, chores, things I needed to do yesterday. So here we are on a Sunday morning, going to get a few flights in. And on Twitch, we are streaming. So here we are. This is as promised from yesterday, but things weren't working as they should yesterday. Here we are, my first ever proper flight stream from X-Plane 10. So we are at Biggin Hill, which is in south east of London City, south of London City Airport, and southeast of Heathrow, northwest of Gatwick. And it's quite prominently positioned to take a lot of private traffic. Good morning, Dan. How are you? Early for watching the stream. So with, I mean, this is what I like. I'm going to say the things I like more than the things I don't like. But we've got X camera doing its thing here, and it's just kind of panning around the aircraft on its own accord. So that's quite a nice intro, isn't it? You kind of getting to show every rivet and nook and cranny of the Cessna Caravan. So we've sorted out our rendering, so yeah, I'm very good, thanks very much, very good indeed. So let's look at the rendering options then. So where are we at? We've gone for HDR rendering, and the HDR anti-aliasing is 2 times SSAA super sampling and FXAA, and we've put the anisotropic filter level up to extreme. We're still compressing VRAM textures, texture resolution very high, and we are using the windowed mode and the resolution of my monitor 1280 1024. We're not drawing forest fires and balloons. Why would you combine the two? I don't know. What is that all about? Sorry, I'm doing it already. Draw birds and deer. Well, we can't be bothered with that. And we've got forward view with 3D cockpit. So currently using 730 megabytes of VRAM. And we've got the 750 Ti, which is the bottom end of the Maxwell chipset NVIDIA graphics cards. Designed to kind of handle 1080, not with all the bells and whistles, but still give you a good run for your money. We use the joypad, so we've got a Xbox 360 joypad just for doing the views. So if we kind of press the buttons, we should be able to look around the cockpit, and then I can press the top button to get to the external views, and then when you're in one view you press the other button to pan around the cockpit. So one thing I missed, down here we've got C, D and O, so you press C and that gives us cameras. There's additional cameras that come with the plane itself, which we won't be using. Then we've got D, and D stands for doors. So we can open the pilot door, and a natty little ladder comes down. The co-pilot door, the baggage door, and the passenger and cargo doors. That's good, isn't it? That's a nice effect. So we can shut all doors. As one thing I was really impressed with is the where are you going, Otto? I want to sit down there. With the I've only got a 550 Ti. I can run X-Plane on medium with 40 frames a second, but clouds kill my frame rate. Yeah, I'm not sure about clouds, because obviously if you're using I suppose, what am I using? I've got the Max Sky texture, Sky Max Pro, but the default weather renderer. So if I go back to rendering options. Cloud detail, not many, 10%. So number of cloud puffs. So yeah, we're not taxing the system there. So that's that D tab. So cameras, doors, and then O stands for something. So we can configure things. A cargo pod, static element, so we can click on that, and then we get the little tow trailer, and then VC windows, virtual cockpit windows. And then we can take the cargo pod off, like that, and we'll fly with the cargo pod. So yeah, that's really good, isn't it? So well, we're panning around with X camera. You can see all the static elements there. We've got the tail prop. Sorry, the as in prop, as in a prop to stop the tail going down. We've got the tow there. The remove before flight tag. So yeah, now it's Coronado. They're thinking things you would want to do in real life, which is all good. From what I've heard, the default clouds are poorly optimized. I think they are. So I've been onto the X-Plane forums, X-Plane.org, quite a lot, and there's a massive thread going on about the kind of shortfalls of things. And I suppose what they try and get you to remember is the team is so small. So Flight Sim 10 had a massive team, obviously Microsoft backing, whereas X-Plane 10 is kind of a lot smaller. You know, no massive financial backing, and they try and make this flight simulator what they want it to do, not necessarily what we, the users, would want it to do. So I've always said, as time goes on, I'm sure it'll get a lot better, even with X-Plane 10.x or even onto X-Plane 11. The other side you've got is obviously the variance in hardware, that some people have high-end Skylake processors, 980 Ti's and so on. Other people at the other end of the scale will have, you know, hardware that's 5 to 10 years old. So they kind of have to match a massive spectrum, and they can't take advantage of any anything particular to a modern chipset. So you're going to get poor optimization, just so it works across all range of hardwares on Linux, Mac, and PC. Right, so I've been tinkering with kind of the cold and dark startup of this plane. So we will attempt that, and we will first of all set the parking brake, which I think is set. Yeah, that's all good. Then we move over to this side, and we want to put the battery on. Like so. What is the air pressure? EGK METAR. Going for about 10 minutes, but I'll be back. Okay, I'll see you shortly. So the METAR, 33 minutes ago, winds were 18 knots from the south-southeast. Temperature is 8 degrees C. Pressure is 9.9 hectopascals, which is there. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Scattered cloud at a height of 700 feet. Broken clouds at a height of 1,000 feet, with a chance of light rain. Okay, we need some lights, which are there. That's too much. Well, they obviously don't work, or I can't get them to work. Then ignition. So I think that goes to on. Avionics can go to on. which then loads up the GPS unit. Biggin Hill, what have we got? We've got a VOR 115.1. So we need to stop zooming in. 115.1. Has that done anything? No, Squawk is 7,000, so we're not flying on VATSIM today, because I've got a 2 PC set up for FSX, and my second PC does all the comms, but I can't replicate that in X-Plane. I don't really want to stray from my formula at the moment. So that goes to there, I guess. That goes to up. And then beacon light can go on. Nav light can go on. And then we hit the starter switch. Which if we zoom back out, we actually want to go up. So that's a lovely sound, isn't it? You've got a generator firing up to start turning this massive Cessna Caravan engine. So, we have to look at all these gauges, don't we? Prop working, oil pressure rising, fuel flow rising, that's all fine. So now we can turn the ignition off. How do I turn the ignition off? No idea. I had this yesterday, I thought it was the that. It's not. What next? De-ice, anti-ice, we don't need that, but we will need our pitot heaters. We can then set our trim to take off. Communications, we're not communicating with anyone, but obviously if we were on VATSIM, we would tune into 122.8. Like so. And runway, so the winds were from the south. So we need to take off of runway 21. There we go. So how do I turn that ignition light off? We've started up, ignition. Fuel flow on normal. Do we need any power? No, anyone? So which is runway 210? It would be taxiing down to the left. I don't know where I am, so there's some taxiways. We'll try and follow that. Doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, so bring back our yoke. Got full left, full right, full up and full down. We've got cat sat on our lap. Got full left, full right. Where are you going? Okay, so taxi lights, that's what we need next. So we zoom in down. Where's the lights? No, over here. Seatbelt cabin on. Lights for taxi. Okay, I guess that's it. Parking brake off. There we go. Now we can start taxiing. Hello Dan, welcome back. So we stop here. Then we need our strobe light on, which is there. Pitot heater, stall heater on. Right, ignition light, why are you still on? Starter energized, generator off. Generator off. Ignition, something. Can't read it. Oh well, we've tried. So we need to taxi down the runway and we'll turn around. And this is using default scenery for X-Plane, but with the mesh and the world scenery. So we're going to taxi around the runway and turn around. We need to put our flaps down. Takeoff on when we turn around. We want to get that ignition light off, which I don't know what I did yesterday to get it off. And then we will head over to Shoreham. turning circle over there. How wide is the turning circle? And straighten up. Flaps down for takeoff. And we'll try one more time to get that ignition light. So maybe do I need to put that up? Nope, no idea. So, power up. Flaps up. And we will that's a mouse skull. We need to head southwest. So we're tuning into Gatwick's NDB, which is 338. Power down. There's Biggin Hill again. We need to fly southwest. So landing lights can go back off now. And Gatwick, what else can we tune into? We've got the runway's 110.9. Scenery looks nice. Yeah, it's okay, isn't it? I mean, that's where X-Plane kind of excels. There's this. You can see there's a lot more VFR models, aircraft models, than there are IFR, like quality. But the idea is that you're not going to see any of this from above like 10,000 feet. So if you fly VFR, you're going to make use of trees and roads. So we want to pick up the Gatwick localizer, which that seems to be tuned into, but I'm getting a reading. Let's try that Mayfield 117.9. First, and once we found Gatwick Airport, we can head down to Shoreham. there are any decent pilot warriors for X-Plane. I really don't know, I'm not up to speed with X-Plane planes, but I know X-Plane Org kind of has and sells a lot, and there's X-Aviation. Let's have a look. So, see what they've got. Featured special aircraft shop now. All manufacturers. I'm looking for a Piper. There are no products that match the criteria. Yeah, lots of Cessnas, the 152, Cessna Caravan TT. I'm still waiting for the 737 Classic from IXEG. So let's see what they're up to. It was meant to be released last year. I'm just going into cloud cover, so we've got to get down. Back VFR. Heading of 180 now. Which is south. We should get to Gatwick. I've been in one a few times at Elstree. I'll be starting my PPL in it soon. Oh, well done. Going to start it on my birthday. Oh, that's great news. Yeah, that must be absolutely fantastic to go for your PPL. You can make a lot of people very jealous indeed, me included. So what's the intention down with your PPL? Is it just for pleasure? Are you going to take it to a commercial level? Fly every 2 or 3 weeks to get my PPL when I'm 717. My goodness. Going to take it to commercial level. Well done. That's great to hear. And what do you want to be at a commercial level? Is it a airline pilot, private pilot? Chauffeuring the rich and famous in an air taxi? Gatwick over there? Why don't we just look at the map? Why do we choose to look at the map? It slowed things down. Alright, we need to fly west. That's all we need to do. As I would like to fly for the RAF before an airline, I think it would help in the competitive environment of a flight school, as it's so hard to get into anyway. Yeah, no, that's good ambition, good aim, well done. Right, so we need to head west. Like so. Take us now to Gatwick. Yeah, it'd be awesome to fly on the RAF, especially either taking a Typhoon out or the RAF Voyager, which looks immense. Obviously I went in one at RAF Fairford, the International Air Tattoo. That was so good. Sat in the cockpit. Any idea how to get the ignition off at the moment? Anyone? That's auxiliary fuel pump on. We don't want that. That's a lovely effect, isn't it? You've got the clouds misting over the plane. My ADF working here. What have we got? 365. 36. No, not addicted. What does the map say? Location, local map. Oh, come on. London Gatwick. But it's not showing. We got the VOR showing, but not the NDB. There's Epson MDB. We zoom right in. Yeah, the ones aren't showing at Gatwick. The next one is Shoreham at 332. Okay, let's continue. That'll slow you right down, look at those maps every time. Large international airport. Is that it over there? It can't be, that's not big enough. So yeah, it's over to my 1 o'clock. What's that? We've got a big tower thing sticking up. It's not a tower, it's a road. Road at a different angle. So that's the localizer, 110.90. So that should be over to the that way. Turn in now. One thing that Sim can't simulate is G-force. For example, when I was flying with Cell, my instructor, You deployed full flaps and then retracted them quickly, so the nosedive we found 0 Gs. That's right, yeah. No, I've noticed that. Obviously you've got positive G and negative G. Positive G is the nice G of kind of just spinning around like that. But negative G was demonstrated with a go up and then down, and then your stomach just goes. I don't really like that feeling. Positive G is nice, but negative G is horrible. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of roller coasters, but once I'm on them I really enjoy them. There's the airport, Gatwick over there. But then you need to understand G-force, isn't it? Because you've got plane structures that's limited to a certain amount of Gs. And then if the engines failed and so on, you needed to get down quickly, you're going to have to get used to dealing with it. So there's Gatwick. The airport does have 2 runways, but it's only allowed 1 runway operation at a time. Looking a lot emptier than normal, looks like it's up for sale. So we know Shoreham's got an MDB and it is at 332. Let's head up to Shoreham. So we need to go south. Um, 332 on the NDB, and if we head, due south. Should get there. Yeah, when you're in a stall, the important thing is to get airspeed again, so you need to get air moving back over your wings. So obviously it'll be a nose down to gain speed, and then it'll be control of the aircraft. So if you want to deliberately stall, which we can do now, bring the throttle back, you can start climbing again. So pitch your nose up, you can see the speed decaying now. We should hear the stall buzzer go off. There it is. Props up, nose down. start levelling off and climbing again. So I can't get the MDB. Why doesn't that work? Do we need to press some buttons? ADF, BFO, FRO. See, none of that works. That only changes it. That turns it on and off. Is that not simulated? So I don't know why my ADF arrow isn't picking up the ADF here. Is it something I'm doing wrong? It's also private, isn't it? There isn't an ADF arrow over on the co-pilot settings. That's autopilot as well. And we're heading south. That's done something. That's clever. You've got a dial of all dials. Altimeter, battery, voltage. Just don't know why that isn't working. Anyway, back to the outside view. I think a 10-seater plane, obviously with a cargo pod underneath, single turbo prop engine. It can get a number of people into a short, non-tarmacked runway. So it's a very rugged plane. You see it, may have seen it used on bush pilots on television. So now we're in clouds with at 3,000 feet and we can't see anything. So we have to lower ourselves out of the clouds to gain visual reference again. And we'll get back on track south, so it's quite easy, just head towards the coast. Where are we going to after this? We're off to Southampton on this flight. Then after that I was going to fire up FSX again and correct my poor flying skills from yesterday. So it's a touch and go at Shoreham, so we get a quick weather report. So EGKA METAR. And 19 minutes ago, oh god, winds 21 knots up to 31 knots, temperature 9 degrees, pressure 903. Light rain, so winds from the south, so it'll be a straight in approach then. Oh, there we go, the ADF is now working. So we can now follow the arrow. You can feel ourselves getting buffeted around. If you want to fly out of Luton, I will do ATC for you. Oh, how could I refuse that offer? Thank you, Dan. We can do that. So we'll get to Southampton then, and then we'll log ourselves on at Luton. Which means I need to get a flight plan from Luton to somewhere. So we're in the clouds, we're not allowed to be in the clouds VFR, so we need to drop down. But now we're a bit more familiar with the aeroplane, we can, after our touch and goes, pick up the speed, and it shouldn't take too long to get to Southampton across the coast. Or along the coast even. That's lovely, isn't it? The wispy clouds coming over the plane. So there's no one else around, so we can put our landing lights back on. It's good, isn't it, seeing the hills and the depth of the mesh. Plane's fighting against the wind now. Got a strong wind off the sea. We've got to keep our eyes peeled then for Shoreham Airport. So you can see the occasional freezing when it loads in more stuff. Not the best experience. So to head over that way. See the flashing beacon over there. Start slowing down. You can see the runway straight ahead. Far too fast. Then we can just do an orbit off to the right. Well too low now. Oh, but there we go. We'll go back that way. Follow the beacon, and the runway should be straight ahead. And I'm really surprised with X-Plane, you get a lot better force feedback on my joystick than you do with FSX. You're connected as bouncing ground now, well done, I won't be too long. Don't think I've ever flown out of Luton before, so at least you're here. Okay, so we'll do full power and we'll follow the coastline to Echo Golf Hotel India, Southampton. And what have we got? We've got the VOR NDB 3901. Not a good day to be flying, is it? Look at the rain. And on the local map we've got massive weather storm. That's not a local map. That's France. EGHI 11335, that's what we want. 11335. Atrocious weather. So I'm flying a heading of 280. So let's put it on autopilot, save our little hands. And we can bring up our GPS now. And we want to go to activate. So if we were to press nav now, does that automatically take us there? Can't see where I'm going. So if we activate a procedure, select approach, activate vectored final. That is runway 20. So it looks like the plane's flying for us now. We're fighting for a lot of bad weather, so we've engaged autopilot. And we're heading off to Southampton, but then we'll log back on FSX, where Dan the student is open Luton for us, which is nice. So I'm going to have to learn how to start the plane without leaving the ignition on. That is going to be on runway 20. And apparently we've got 26 nautical miles to go. Have you heard of the red carpet treatment ATC can provide? No, I haven't. I'm expecting good things now. So that's on heading nav. Sounds good. Right, so that's now following my course heading, which I don't want it to do. I want it to follow the GP. Well, it's not doing anything now. Flight director, alt, and heading mode. Well, it's obviously not following heading, but it is it following nav? The only way to find out is to look at the map. Yeah, that's taken us to the approach then for runway 20. So we've got to have a bit of faith in the system. Clearing up a bit further down the coast, isn't it? Poor Brighton Insurance. Still got our landing lights on. Need some ethereal music to go with the lens flare. And then we should be able to hit the approach button. Not much traffic at the moment. Wizz Air from Poland on a Ryanair that is pre-filed a flight to Dublin. Very nice, thanks for the update. This is great, isn't it? This is like flight simulated across the board. Covering all bases. Right, so let me look at what I can do from Luton then, or London Luton. Right, there we go, I think that's the route then for me. If you want a really short flight to Luton to Stansted, it's a real-world repositioning flight used by Ryanair and EasyJet. Well, they're only a stone's throw apart, aren't they? That's interesting. No, I can do a longer flight. So Southampton is 12 nautical miles away. So we've hit the approach button on the hoping that our plane will start turning onto the localizer. Everything looks so green in X-Plane, doesn't it? Oh, more pausing. Do we call those micro stutters? EasyJet also do Golf Whiskey to Kilo Kilo and take loads of fuel because it's cheaper at Luton. That's brilliant. I never knew all of this. This is good facts, Dan. Well done. Right, there's some trees. Does that signify anything? Not far away, but it looks like we're flying straight for the airfield. So if we now head west, heading west. Maybe I should just let the computer do what it wants to do. So how high would an EasyJet plane get flying from Luton to Stansted or Luton? It'll probably be a bit higher. Oh, because, yeah, Luton to Gatwick though, you're flying over massive Heathrow airspace, aren't you? Obviously London. Yeah, tell me about that route then. What would you do? What's the recommended flight level for that flight? Let's drop a bit of speed now. 5 nautical miles away. there's a stall alarm. But that didn't disengage autopilot, did it? Yes, it did. Where's it taking me? Golf Whiskey to Stansted is, is about 4,000 feet as you go straight from Sid to a star, and Luton to Gatwick is 7,000 feet to remain outside EGLL airspace. Okay, that must be a nice little hop for the pilots. Right, are we on the final approach? Not even paying attention, am I? Still, what are we gonna do? We're gonna take autopilot off and do what we need to do manually, because the runway should be right ahead of us, but that's not how we approach it, so we're gonna do an overhead approach. Down there. So we're descending the dead side. Landing lights can go back on. Back over the numbers and do a left hand downwind. Still fighting the massive winds. One thing I want to do when I get my PPL is go from Echo Golf Tango Romeo Elstree to Luton. Yeah, that sounds amazing. What are the landing fees like for VFR traffic at Luton? Stalling again. Okay, this is the downwind leg. So we'll get some flappage out. I'm sure we're going into some noise abatement procedures here over the houses. But what are you going to do if you live near an airport? Lost the runway. Where have I gone wrong? It was there a moment ago. Oh, we need another left. Left, a bit more left. So, well, I've gone too far now, so let's turn left. There's the beacon. Dan, do you fly? I hope they're not overpriced. Do you fly the real departure procedures for VFR airfields at Echo Golf Tango Romeo from runway 26 or 26? We follow the M1. I think it's until we see the M25 at 1,500 feet. Yeah, no, there are procedures. They're not sibs and stars, but they're entry and exit zones. Obviously, if you're doing your Luton training, so the little dots around the airfield. So to leave Bristol, depending on if you're going north, south, east or west, you would tend to leave the controlled airspace via the visual reference points. So there normally be instructions, obviously not above 1,500 feet. But yeah, no, if I've got Plan G working, I will fly the procedures, and obviously if air traffic control's online, then I listen to what they say, otherwise they tell me off. Right, we've now found the runway again, so we've got our flaps down, landing lights on, still battling against the wind. Come on, little plane, you can do it. Yay, I did it! So, stall heaters. Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you very much. So, oh, there's an arrow, so we're going to park up here. And set the parking brake. I don't know how we've ended up. There we go. How did we end up over there with the views? So that can go off, that can go off. That has a lovely sound. Avionics, battery. Alright, let me go and get a drink and I'll be with you very, very shortly. Hold the phone. So I've got to be right back, so just bear with me.